Hello and welcome back to my channel, Amber Shaw, the Shaw of St. Augustine, the queen of living the dream. Today, I'm excited to share with you some highlights from my son's football season, from the U8 team for the Police Athletic League here in St. Augustine, Florida, which goes up to the teen ages. And I believe this year we were actually contributing towards the Pop Warner system. So it was in a Pop Warner league, and the Police Athletic League is one of our teams. And my son was number 11 on this team this year. We had so much fun. And this fall, he was joined with a lot of his friends that he's been playing with for the last few years. We actually started our season off in the summer, and it's been an incredible journey watching these young athletes grow on and off the field. From learning teamwork and discipline to celebrating their victories, this experience has been nothing short of amazing. You'll see some of our players here. We were wearing green. We also had a white uniform, black helmets. We also had pink uniform at some point for the October month while we were recognizing Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And you can see some of these clips here of these kids playing and our parents supporting them. We had our first practices before school started, and the energy was electric. We had such an amazing coaching staff. We had so much fun with our coaching staff. We had Coach Colby, and some of the other coaches there was Coach Smalls and Coach Crow, Coach Stevens, and then Coach Scott. And then all those guys were doing such a great job. We had our team parent, Skylar, was Coach Trevor's partner there. But let's talk about what's happening in St. Augustine real quick. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about what's going on with the real estate market here, just so you can have an update for November 2025. The market is showing some interesting trends that both the buyers and the sellers should be aware of. And I just want to show you a little bit more about the median sell prices. So if you're thinking about moving to St. Augustine, median sell price here is around $370,000. So that represents a little bit of a decrease, about 13% from last year. So we are seeing a shift in the market. There is a 13% average decrease in price. And it's important for sellers to adjust their pricing expectations. So as the competition is increasing with more homes available, the sellers are going to have to be a little bit more realistic with what their buyers are going to be seeing and what they should be expecting as far as response from the market. So make sure that you get with me or your realtor so that you can understand what is going on in your specific neighborhood. And speaking of inventory, we're actually seeing about 5 months worth of supply available right now on the market, which means that the buyers have more options than before. The homes are spending an average of 115 days on the market compared to 102 days from last year. So this means, and this change, it means that the buyers are taking their time, and we're actually seeing a 7% increase in cancellations of buyers canceling their contracts before closing. So there are buyers not only taking their time and being more discerning with their choices, but also changing their mind completely and going and continuing to look while they're still under contract, while they're already under contract. So for those who are considering to buy a house or a home, this could be a great opportunity to negotiate better terms. And however, the sellers need to be flexible and ready to adapt to these new market dynamics. But now back to football season. It's been a really great joy to see these kids develop. My son, his teammates, building up each other, not only as players, but also as friends. They've worked so hard, and the spirit of teamwork is truly inspiring. I loved spending time with the parents and getting to know my fellow neighbors here in St. Augustine, because one cool thing about the PAL is that they have fields in the downtown area, so it's like right outside of downtown, and they also have fields in Elkton. So anybody that's in Elkton, that's still in St. Johns County, but it's down 207, a little bit further outside of town. But they're trying to build these beautiful fields right out there in Elkton. So if you live in that area, or if you're looking for that area, then this might be the better league for you, because there are some other leagues in the area that are spread out either near World Golf Village or up near Palencia, and Nocatee actually has their own league. Ponte Vedra, Jacksonville Beach. We actually played all of them in this league, so you might recognize some of those other kids. There was the Toros game that we were at that might have been up in Callahan. There were a few that we went to that were in Middleburg, and we just go all over the place. So it's not a travel league per se, but if you do become more interested in learning about the geography and the neighborhood setup, as it were, in Florida, then you'll notice that it is quite widespread. Because one thing that you'll notice is that we don't have too many, like skyscrapers. We don't have too many tall buildings. And if you had a taller building, you would have a higher level of volume. You'd have a higher level of occupancy. Oh, there's my baby! And since we don't have too many tall buildings, a majority of our real estate sales are going to be residential sales. All right, so as you see around here, you'll see a lot of single-family homes. Therefore, we're more spread out because it takes more of us to fill in that area. So we have lower per capita, which means that we have a lower head count per square mile down here in Florida than in some other parts of the country. So here in St. Augustine, since we already have 2 or 3 leagues that are in St. Augustine, and then we've got a bunch that are in all like the little neighbor communities, the St. Augustine team here for the PAL is available for all the residents in St. Augustine. So you don't have to live in a certain spot. Go Brantley, go Brantley. All right, and then you can join. You should join us. One of us. One of us. One of us. So fun. Look at these guys. So cute. We love getting some action. And honestly, I just love watching these guys play. Like, I don't even care if we win. I know that some people are super competitive. I mean, I am competitive. There they are one day. They were hanging out at St. Joe's Academy. This must be at St. Joe's Academy. And at St. Joe's Academy, that was fun. And I want to give out a little shout out to all the players. Obviously, my son Nico, number 11. We had his little buddy Axel, number 25. Brantley, number 1. Carter. Aiden. We had Christian, Colton, DeAndre, Grayson, Halsey. I'm not going to say the last names because for privacy. But, our buddy Hamza, Jakari was amazing. Jameson, Landon, Lawson, Nate, Owen, Shontario, Sterling, Stetson, and Tucker. They all did great. They all had a lot of fun. I believe we might have lost one during the season, not spiritually, but just physically. And it was pretty fun. Look at these guys. My favorite thing about making these videos and watching the kids play is seeing them annually and then seeing them grow. So it's funny to see how this guy on this team, these guys are all U8, right? So it means under the age of 8. They're supposed to be under the age of 8. My son actually did happen to turn 9 during the season, so his birthday was in October, but he was only 9 for a couple of weeks. And he's not one of the tall kids anyway, so it wasn't really that much of an advantage, just saying. But, yeah, they did great. I had so much fun watching them. I had my Loud Cup They were selling some loud cups also. They were adding some loud cups to it. It was really fun. And then I want to recite to you some fun motivational quotes for these football players. All right, so Joe Paterno said, "You can't win together if you don't work together." And these boys did a great job working together. Brian Dawkins said, "Football is a game of controlled anger. It's a game of retribution. It's about will." So these guys, we all saw, some of them wanted to do it, and they did a great job, and they were able to get themselves into that controlled, aggressive state. J.J. Watt said, "If you do the bare minimum, expect bare minimum results. If you want to be great, work to be great." J.J. Watt. That guy knows what's up. He was really good at blocking the kickers, I think. That's what I remember about J.J. Watt. Comment below if you know what J.J. Watt is most famous for. And then Tom Landry said, "A champion is simply someone who did not give up when they wanted to." Oh, I love that. I love that. I never give up when I want to. Oh, man. All right, so then Mike Singletary said, "Do you want to know what my favorite part of the game is? The opportunity to play." Oof, that is a good one. So as I'm making this video, it's actually November 4th, and last night I had a softball game, and I think I broke my foot, you guys. I've been literally laid up in my bed today. My foot is killing me. It hurts so bad. But I'm just so happy that we won our game last night. We had 2 games. I played the first game and hit my foot with my bat after I was batting, and I don't know how I did that, but I did, and now it really hurts. And I think it's broken, but I'm not going to go to the doctor because what's the point? Anyways, so Pete Carroll said, "Stay hungry, remain humble, and get better today." Good times. All right.
Gabe's in the way.
Here's Gabe. Hey, Gabe.
Gabe's in the way.
He was playing, and that was one of the night games that we had. I think that was like a scrimmage game that we did against the St. Augustine West team, and that was over at the Callahan Field down by the Y at the Little League area. Cam Newton said, "You cannot make progress with excuses." It's true, I guess, depending. Cam Newton, everybody. Paul Bear Bryant said, "It's not the will to win that matters, it's the will to prepare to win that matters." So you gotta practice. And playoffs are coming up, you guys. Ooh, Ray Lewis said, "No matter the circumstances you may be going through, just push through it." Ray Lewis. I believe I heard something about Ray Lewis one time that said that his coach loved how much disregard he had for his own body. So that's one thing that I would like to say. And I mean, considering that I'm sitting here with a broken foot, I'm like, yeah, whatever. But I mean, you have, again, it comes back to the will, right? So if you were able to say to yourself, no matter the circumstances you may be going through, just push through it, it would go back to, it's not the will to win that matters, it's the will to prepare to win. Or even the one where they said, the opportunity to play is my favorite part, you know, or somebody that didn't give up when they wanted to. So going back through all those quotes, they're really good. I like these. Let's keep going. And then Jalen Hurts said, "Effort will never be questioned." It's true, because if you see someone giving it their all and you can tell that they were really trying, you know, like this kid right here, he's putting the flag together. Good job, kid. Mama's coming to help, don't worry. But, you know, see, you can tell he was making the effort. So you can't get mad at him for doing it wrong because he doesn't know how to do it, but he's trying. It's October, so we've got our pink uniforms on for breast cancer awareness. And our final quote here is going to be by Bo Jackson. "Set your goals high and don't stop till you get there," Bo Jackson said. My son loves Bo Jackson. He actually has a picture of Bo Jackson wearing his football pads and holding a baseball bat, because he played both sports, and I think played them both professionally. He might have played them both on the same day, taking a helicopter between. So set your goals high and stay true to your dreams and listen to your coaches and live your life with passion and come to St. Augustine and live the dream with me, Amber Shaw, the Shaw of St. Augustine. So when you're ready, give me a call, 978-908-0787. See you soon. Bye.